Okay, think about the soundscape for a second. The ping of an Instagram notification, right? Then the endless swish of scrolling TikTok, maybe the hum of a hairdryer, makeup brushes tapping. Then snap, a camera.
That's really the rhythm of modern beauty, isn't it?
It totally is. Centuries, beauty has been this mirror for society. It reflects who we are, what we value. But now, that mirror, it's digital.
Hmm.
And the judges, they're algorithms.
Yeah.
So here's the big question, the one we really need to get into today. What actually happens when these digital judges just, well, don't see everyone?
Mm-hmm.
When the filters that are supposed to enhance beauty, they actually end up erasing it. When machine learning, the very core of it, leans so heavily Eurocentric that Black features kind of just fade out.
Right, become invisible in the data.
Exactly. So today on the deep dive, we're going deep into this tension between these huge social media algorithms and the really vibrant, growing Afro beauty movement.
Yeah, it's such a critical area.
We'll unpack how AI is shaping beauty standards, the really stark ethical problems this throws up, and also meet some of the amazing people fighting for real inclusivity. You know, pixel by pixel, product by product.
And your mission, as you're listening, is really to get under the skin of this, to see the personal stories, the values, frankly, the sheer guts driving this whole battle.
Absolutely.
We want to highlight those moments of, heroism, resilience, and pull out lessons for anyone interested in, say, business strategy, ethical tech.
Or just building a fairer world.
Precisely. We're tracking this journey from algorithms that maybe unintentionally erase to the entrepreneurs and thinkers who are actively stepping up to redefine beauty in this digital age.
Okay, before we really jump in, just a quick heads up for everyone listening.
Yeah.
While we've pieced these stories together really carefully, we can't know every single detail behind the scenes. Our deep dive is always built on what's out there, publicly, news reports, official statements, public records. We're aiming to give you the clearest picture possible with what we've got.
Makes sense. Always good to be clear about sources.
Right. So let's start with the scale of this digital mirror we're all looking into. Think about TikTok, Instagram. They aren't just apps anymore, are they?
No, they're global shapers. Huge influence.
Totally. They dictate trends, they amplify certain looks, and crucially, they decide who gets seen. Billions of images, videos, every single day.
It's staggering numbers.
And behind every viral dance, every makeup trend, every, perfect selfie, there's code.
Always code.
Complex code telling the platform what trends, what gets boosted, and basically whose beauty is worth showing off.
Right.
It's like this digital echo chamber, right? Reflecting back what the algorithm thinks we want.
And look, this isn't just, a feeling people have. It's actually backed by some pretty stark numbers.
Right. The data shows it.
Exactly. The computer vision systems.
Yeah.
The AI that lets computers see images. Well, the ones used by a lot of big platforms, they really struggle with darker skin tones.
How much struggle are we talking? Significant.
Oh, yeah. We're talking error rates. For Black women specifically, that can jump over 30%.
Right.
30.
Wow, compared to
Less than 1% for white men. So the gap is huge. It's not a small glitch. It's fundamental.
Okay, so it's baked into the system itself.
Right. And here's where it gets, kind of insidious. These recommendation engines, right, they're built to reward engagement. Likes, shares, views. Historically, that engagement, just based on societal biases and media representation, has skewed towards lighter skin, straighter hair, more Eurocentric features.
So the algorithm learns that bias.
It learns it, and then it reinforces it. It creates this powerful feedback loop. Eurocentric features become the default online.
Yeah.
And it's not just reflecting reality, it's actively shaping it because it keeps promoting what's already popular within that biased framework.
That makes total sense. And it explains why stories like this one, they just hit so hard. I remember reading about a young Nigerian content creator. Her experience just perfectly nails this digital erasure.
What happened with her?
She said, I posted 3 makeup tutorials, same lighting, same editing. Okay. The one with straightened hair got 10 times the reach.
10 times.
Yeah. The one where I wore my natural afro, it felt like it was shadow banned. Where reach just plummets for no clear reason into silence.
That's brutal.
Now, if you talk to an engineer, maybe they'd say, defensively, look, it's the algorithm responding to engagement. That's it.
Right, the neutral machine argument.
Exactly. But the creator's take, and this is where you feel the personal impact. She said defiantly, no, it's the algorithm deciding whose beauty is worth engaging with. It's deciding whose beauty counts.
And that contrast right there, That's the heart of the
Yeah,
matter.
that's the core tension we're digging into today.
It absolutely is.
Yeah.
And her story, sadly, is probably echoed by so many creators out there. It really sets the stage for why we need to talk about the people who are refusing to let this bias just, operate in the background.
The one shining a light on it.
Yeah, the voices acting as that ethical compass, kind of guiding us through this really complex landscape.
And when you think about that conscience, that guiding light, I mean, one name that jumps out for so many people is Timnit Gebru.
Oh, absolutely. A major figure.
Born in Ethiopia, brilliant researcher, rose through the ranks, Apple, Stanford, Google, a Black woman navigating these massive tech spaces.
Yeah, incredible journey.
But her absolute refusal to be quiet about the biases she saw in AI, her push for accountability, that ultimately led to her very public, very contentious exit from Google.
Right, that was huge news.
And her words on this are just so powerful. She said, technology is not neutral. It reflects the values of its creators. And when those creators exclude us, the machines will too. She saw that sort of ethical debt piling up.
That's a great phrase for it, ethical debt. And what's amazing is what she did after Google. It wasn't just about pointing out flaws.
No, she built things.
Exactly. She co-founded Black in AI and then DARE, the Distributed AI Research Institute. Her mission became about building completely new AI models actually rooted in justice, in equity, not just profit.
Talk about putting your values into action.
Seriously. That's real heroism, pushing back against these tech giants to try and forge a better path for AI.
And she's not alone in this fight for accountability. There's another really powerful, incredibly analytical voice, Deborah Raji.
Yes, another key researcher, Nigerian-Canadian.
And Raji spent years doing the hard graft, rigorously testing the facial recognition systems that are everywhere now.
And what she uncovered was, well, it was pretty devastating for those systems.
Devastating how?
She systematically proved that the big players, Microsoft, Amazon, IBM, their tech was just failing spectacularly when it came to accurately recognizing darker-skinned women.
So not just minor errors, but significant failures.
Huge failures. Her work was this massive wake-up call to an industry that often seemed to prioritize, speed and getting products out there over basic fairness.
Yeah.
And her quote on this is so direct you can't ignore it. Fairness isn't a patch you install. It's a commitment you build from the ground up. Anything less is performative.
Wow. Performative. That hits hard.
It does. She and Gebru, they really are like these guiding lights demanding fundamental change, not just quick fixes.
So you've got these incredibly powerful voices demanding change from the outside, challenging the structures. But then you also have these amazing entrepreneurs who saw the problem and thought, okay, I'm going to build the solution.
Right. Hacking the system from the inside, essentially.
Yeah, using the market itself.
Exactly. Like Asma Ahmed, Nigerian-American, and her story starts from a very personal place.
Oh, yeah.
She was just frustrated, like so many women of color, that she couldn't find foundation shades that matched her skin from the big brands. They just didn't exist for her.
A really common experience, sadly.
It's so common. So what did she do? She built Plum Perfect. It's an AI tool, uses facial recognition, but it's specifically designed to match women of color with cosmetics that actually work for them.
That's brilliant. Using the tech to solve the exact problem the tech was partly causing.
Precisely. And her motivation, she put it so well. My startup was born out of love and anger. Love for skin in all its shades. Anger that the industry ignored us for so long.
Love and anger, that's powerful.
It really is. It shows how personal values, lived experience, that can fuel real innovation, and smart business strategy too, tapping into this huge, ignored market.
That's such an inspiring story. And innovation doesn't stop with cosmetics, right? There's Michael Musandu tackling fashion.
Yes, Michael Musandu, born in Zimbabwe, he looked at the fashion industry going digital and saw it was just copying the same old narrow beauty standards online, leaving so many people out. He saw this huge gap.
Okay, so what was his approach?
His company is lalaland.ai. And what they do is create diverse synthetic models using AI, like computer-generated models that represent all kinds of people.
Wow, so challenging the idea of a default look itself.
Exactly. His whole vision is captured in this great quote. If algorithms can imagine infinite faces, why should they all look the same? We can redefine the default.
Redefine the default. I like that.
It's smart strategy, right? Spot a gap. Use the tech not just to fill it, but to change the whole visual conversation. Building inclusive data sets right from the start.
And then there's Yinka Inalakan in Nigeria taking it even broader, beyond just visuals.
Yeah, Yinka's work is fascinating. He's focused on using AI to preserve indigenous languages.
Okay, how does that connect to beauty standards?
Well, his warning really makes you think. He asks, if machines cannot hear us in Yoruba, Igbo, or Zulu, how can they ever truly see us?
Huh. That's a deep connection.
It really is. It pushes us beyond just pixels.
Yeah.
As he says, representation is not just pixels, it's culture, it's language, it's dignity.
So it's about recognizing the whole person, the whole culture, not just the image.
Precisely. It's about ensuring AI serves diverse communities in all their richness, not diminishes them. It's another form of resilience, another strategic way to fight algorithmic erasure.
Okay, so we have the problem, the bias. We have the advocates demanding change, the innovators building solutions. But it can't be that simple, right? There must be pushback or at least internal challenges within these big platforms.
Oh, absolutely. We need to acknowledge the other side, the pressures inside companies like TikTok and Instagram.
The engineers on the ground.
Yeah. They're driven by completely different metrics, right?
Yeah.
Scale, engagement numbers, ad revenue. That's the engine.
So it's a different kind of battle for them.
Totally. And if you could talk candidly to an engineer there, you might hear something pragmatic, maybe a bit weary, like, look, you want us to retrain these gigantic AI models, these billion parameter things, on data we might not even have yet. That costs a fortune, millions. And our advertisers, they pay for eyeballs. They don't really pay for ethics.
Right. The cost argument. The logistical nightmare.
It highlights the real financial hurdles, the technical complexity involved in fixing bias that's already deeply embedded. There are definitely conflicting incentives at play.
But here's the counterpoint, right? And maybe this is the strategic angle. Ignoring ethics isn't free either, is it?
Not in the long run, no.
Ignoring it builds up that ethical debt we talked about. It leads to backlash, maybe regulations, loss of user trust, which hits the bottom line eventually.
Exactly. It becomes this reputational risk, a technical debt that keeps growing. You can't just ignore it forever. Eventually, that bill comes due.
It always does.
And that brings us right back to why Afro beauty matters so deeply. It's not just aesthetics. It's not just a trend.
No, it's much more than that.
For so many, it is heritage. It is identity. It's even, you could say, a form of survival.
How so?
Well, think about it. Skin tones carry ancestral stories. Hair textures are symbols of resisting conformity, sometimes centuries of it. These aren't just superficial choices. They're daily statements about self, history, belonging.
Deeply personal and cultural statements.
Exactly. And yet, every single day, those statements can feel like they're under attack online.
Yeah.
Filters literally wash away skin tones.
Right. I heard an influencer describe it. Her voice was just full of this tired frustration. She said, when I go live, I have to fight the filter.
Fight the filter. Wow.
I add extra ring lights just so my skin doesn't look 2 shades lighter. It's exhausting, and it tells me I don't belong on my own feed.
On her own feed. Just let that sink in.
Yeah, that daily struggle. It says everything about the cultural stakes when an algorithm running on biased data gets to decide what's beautiful or even what's visible.
And that deep cultural value is exactly why the pushback is becoming so strong, so multifaceted. It's not just individuals anymore.
No, it's systemic solutions starting to emerge alongside really powerful local action.
That's right. The resistance is definitely building. We're seeing more calls for independent audits of algorithms.
Transparent.
People actively building new, more inclusive data sets, loads of local startups popping up to fill the gaps.
And governments are starting to pay attention too, right? Regulation.
Definitely. The calls are getting louder. You've got the African Union working on a continent-wide AI strategy taking control of the narrative.
That's significant.
And regulators in major hubs like Lagos, Nairobi, Accra, they're demanding transparency from the big tech companies operating there. Plus, you have entrepreneurs like the founders of Forfeit 6 Scanner Parfait actually building those inclusive data sets we need.
Proving it can be done.
Proving it can be done. It shows where smart, ethical business strategy meets real innovation. Find the underserved market, build a fair solution. It's profitable and principled.
Which brings us back perfectly to Deborah Raji's point, that really sharp insight. She says, every biased algorithm is a choice, which means...
Fairness can be a choice, too.
Yeah.
Yeah, such a powerful reframe.
It really is. And that feels like a key takeaway for anyone listening, especially if you're thinking about building something, leading something.
Absolutely. Hey, for any aspiring strategist, innovator, the lessons here are huge. First, build fairness in from the start. It's not an add-on.
Right, foundational.
Second, individual and collective action. It actually works. It can challenge norms, demand better. And third, there's real market opportunity in serving the underserved properly.
Yeah.
Designing for justice, for real inclusion.
Yeah.
It's not just charity. It often unlocks new markets, builds stronger businesses, more resilient ones, more valuable ones, ultimately.
So as we kind of wrap this up, this deep dive,
Mm-hmm.
it really comes down to this core conflict playing out every single second online. The battle for beauty, it's not just in mirrors anymore or magazines. It's fought in data centers.
In the code.
In the code.
Mm-hmm.
In who gets to decide what beauty looks like, who gets amplified and who gets left in the digital shadows.
Yeah.
Now, TikTok, Instagram, maybe they're chasing engagement, chasing those ad dollars above all else.
Seems like it sometimes.
But the Afro beauty advocates, the innovators, the researchers we've talked about, they're chasing something different.
Something deeper.
They're chasing justice.
Yeah.
And justice, well, that has its own kind of momentum, doesn't it?
It really does. And that leads us right back to Timnit Gebru's words. I think they're the perfect place to end, a question to leave floating in the air for you.
Yeah.
Technology is never neutral.
Yeah.
The question is, who does it serve?
You've been listening to Empire and Legacy, African Business Chronicles. Our hosts are Zuri Mwangi and Kwame Adeyemi. Main episodes are released each Monday. Our hosts delve deeper into the CEOs at the helm on Wednesdays. On Thursdays, we explore the global perspectives, the standout businesses and CEOs, emerging trends and geopolitical developments, presenting both risk and opportunity. We're back each week, sharing more stories about the exciting business rivalries shaping the future of business across Africa. Empire and Legacy is essential listening for business professionals and leaders. Be sure to subscribe to be the first to know when new episodes are released. Until next time.